Good evening. Thank you for joining us. My guest tonight is Guy Caballero, Commissioner of the EBFL, what some have called the greatest fantasy hockey league ever. Thank you for joining me tonight, Commissioner. Thank you for having me, El Guapo. It's a pleasure to be here. Let's get right to the point. How concerned are you about growing unrest within the league and recent threats of a revolt? I am not concerned at all. There is no revolution. All owners are loyal to me and to the league. Are they? I think you would agree there seems to be a divide between those who support you and those who question your leadership. Recently one owner challenged you and subsequently quit the league because he felt he was greeted unfairly. You're talking about the Scott situation, right? Fine, we can talk about that. He challenged an owner's illegal lineup, as he has every right to do. In this case it was my team he had concerns about. But I handled it the way I would handle any challenge of a rule violation. I assessed the situation and made the decision that was in the best interest of the league. I made the decision as commissioner, not as an owner. Did you expect the impact of that decision to be as disastrous as it was? Well, I'm not sure it was disastrous. Scott didn't like my decision and he did what he thought was necessary. That's the right all owners have. But here's the thing. This wasn't my first unpopular decision. Far from it. But this is the first time someone has ever been so petulant about it. You're sort of dancing around it, so I'll ask you directly. Do you play favorites? Let me answer your question with a question. Did Darwin play favorites? What I mean is this. Some owners are clearly better adapted for life in a competitive fantasy league. Those owners thrive when others struggle. Owners who thrive are rewarded. That's not favoritism, that's nature. But surely you must see that not everyone is happy. What do you make of recent threats from the individual identifying himself as Gorilla? Gorilla is an imposter and a chump. Our owners know better than to take anything he says seriously. But at the same time, some of those owners seem unsettled. They are concerned that the wolves are at the gate. Why aren't you worried? I am not worried because those wolves are mangy and disoriented. They pose no threat. The league and its assets are secure. In the past there has been little room for owner input into important league matters. Are you afraid of democracy? Absolutely not. Each of our owners has a distinct and important voice. Even if what they say isn't always taken seriously. Interesting. So what do you know about Gorilla? Honestly, it's not even worth my time to worry about. I've got a league to run. And despite what some owners think, that is not an easy job. But is it a job that's up for grabs? The league website now indicates that there will soon be an election to select a new commissioner. Well, as you know, El Guapo, our owners are known for their fanciful imaginations. Let's just chalk this up to an elaborate fantasy concocted by an individual desperate for attention. Speaking of fanciful imaginations, I invited fellow owners to submit some of their own questions for you. Mastermind would like to know what you would do if you had access to a time machine. That's easy. I would travel back in time and smack his mom for smoking crack while she was pregnant with him. Next question. Okay. Here's another one from Mastermind. What is your stance on the health of Rick DiPietro? Let's just say that his health is intimately tied to the health of Mastermind's mom. I hear they're both waiting to get their test results from the clinic. Anything else? More to the point, here's a question from Chafe. How do you plan to heal the rift that seems to exist between some owners? Listen, remember what I said about this not being an easy job? This is what I'm talking about. The EBFL is a volatile brew of egos, and some are bruised more easily than others. But I am not a counselor. My job is to govern the league, not to referee petty disputes. If people want to quit, let them. If they want to revolt, let them try. What about those people, the ones who choose to stand up to you? Revolution or not, can their scathing criticism be forgiven? Well, suffice it to say I've got a pretty thick skin. In fact, I admire those who are willing to stand up for themselves. provided they do so with intelligence and class. Sadly, that's something many of our owners seem to be lacking. But by all means, bring it on. I'm not one to hold a grudge. Okay, here's one from Stinky, though I'm not sure it's even a question. He says, and I quote, "You all suck and want the yum yum monkey cum." Your thoughts? Really? Is this what the so-called revolution has come to? I'm not sure what he's getting at, but let me just say that Stinky couldn't revolt his way out of a wet paper bag. Some say that your indifferent dismissal of the revolutionary crisis suggests that you are in fact the one behind it, and that indeed you are Shigorilla. How do you respond? I respond with a derisive laugh. Ha! But seriously, it is league policy not to comment on the idle speculation of the riffraff. Let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the work of 18th century American politician Patrick Henry? He was the one that used to collect stamps, right? What about him? Well, it seems as though Gorilla is leaning on the incendiary language that Henry used in his famous "Give me liberty or give me death" speech to inspire action amongst the so-called riffraff. This means nothing to you. No, it does not. Most of our owners are bright enough to see through such historical rabble-rousing. In the EBFL we make our own history. I want to again remind all owners that the league and its assets are secure. Spare me your talking points, Commissioner. Gorilla, whoever he is, seems to have gained access to your league's website and warns that he could strike again at any time. What precautions are you taking? Precautions schmeshmushins. Gorilla has already admitted that the backlash from some owners is weakening the resistance. Rest assured that the league is secure. You continue to insist that owners have nothing to worry about, but what assurances can you give them? Listen, do you honestly think there aren't fail-safes built into the league's website? My predecessor Ricardo Montalban went to great lengths to protect the league's assets. I intend to do the same. You did not answer the question. What exactly is being done to ensure the security of the league? Let's just say that I've got the situation under control. It's all good in the hood. Well, some think you are being too cavalier about what could be a legitimate threat. There have been security breaches before. Do you not agree that your league is not perfect and that there is always room for improvement? Moving on. Can you surf? Don't push me, El Guapo. You know I will push back. This interview is over. Well, there you have it. Be sure to join us next time when we sit down with the Commissioner of the East Bay Football League. We will talk about inferiority in the age of online fantasy leagues. Good night.